Hello, welcome to our National Contracting Center's Dental Vision Hearing Overview. Today we're going to go over some standalone dental plans that you can contract with here at National Contracting Center. We'll also talk about some of the tips and tricks about each carrier so that you can decide which carrier is right for you. Now, the key to dental plans is this, and this is going to sound weird. There's no good dental plan. And that, again, it sounds weird, it sounds counterintuitive, but here's the thing. There is no plan that is going to meet every single person's needs. All right. There are dental plans out there that are slightly better based on client situation or what they want. That's going to be better than some of the others. But overall, when you ask what is a good dental plan, you need to think along this lines. What are you looking to cover? What does your client need? And then based on that, you can then point to certain directions. You can look and see which carrier provides the most coverage for what they need. Now, most of the plans we're going to talk about today are indemnity based. And what that means is that the carriers have the ability to pay the client rather than the provider. The reason that this is important is because when we talk networks, that's part of what make dental plans kind of frustrating, kind of crappy in the long term. So here's an example. A while back, we contracted with Manhattan, right? And we did that because they did not live off of a fee schedule, and they just reimbursed for whatever treatment the person got. That lasted maybe a year, maybe a year and a half, and then they switched to a fee schedule based reimbursement. Dentists, they want to bill the insurance company. They want the full benefit of what they feel they are worth. So fee schedules are not an easy thing for dentists to deal with. They don't really like it. So the key when you're talking about dental plans, and I was just talking to an agent about dental the other day and asked, what are you wanting out of this dental plan for your beneficiary? And the agent talked about her client and that she had some major things coming up. Okay, fine. So the first place that we're going to look at when we're looking at a cheat sheet like this is major services, right? See, this is what's going to give her the most coverage right off the bat with the major services. And this is going to be also where you see a bulk of the waiting periods. So after I was talking to her for a little bit, we were looking around, found out that her beneficiary was on an Aetna Medicare plan. Well, just to make things easier on the client, and that way they feel kind of like everything is together with one carrier, we decided just to go with Aetna. So if you have a client that is on an Aetna Medicare Advantage plan, maybe an Aetna Medicare Supplement plan, well, you put them on an Aetna dental plan, and then they figure out what they can afford from there. So when you really think about it, what you're really doing with dental plans is you're not becoming an expert on everything out there, right? You're going to become an expert on which carriers cover which highlighted issues. All right, the two things that you need to look at mainly when you're thinking down the dental road, major services is going to be one of them. We mentioned that a second ago, and secondly is day one $1 coverage. Now, day one $1 coverage is always preventative care. So can someone go to the dentist tomorrow and be covered? Well, the answer is yes for many of them. Coverage is across the board for preventative on almost all of these plans. Some you have to look at, they are day one $1 after the deductible. So that's just one thing to think about, one thing to look at. The other here highlights are going to be the largest face values. Well, why do we want to look at that? Where does that come into play? That comes into play for people who are looking for implants, right? So you'll want to find a carrier that covers implants. Some do, some don't, all right? Another big selling point on these dental plans is orthodontics, especially if you're selling to the ACA market. A lot of people that are on an ACA plan possibly could have younger children that have a need for orthodontics. I had 3 kids. All 3 of my kids had a need for orthodontics. I basically just gave my orthodontist, I gave him my insurance card and I gave him my credit card and just said, just put us on a payment plan. And thank goodness he had one, because it was fairly expensive even after insurance. But I can't imagine trying to pay for that without insurance. And if you believe this or not, you'll see a large group of seniors that need orthodontics because they have TMJ, and that's going to help eliminate some of that pain. So offering a plan that covers orthodontics can help that. But again, the key across the board is trying to understand the client that you're servicing and what their typical needs are. Go from that route, not just I offer X carrier, you're going to get this. Again, it's the same selling point we take for Medicare, ACA, and other ancillary products, life insurance. What is your client's needs, and how can we help fill those needs, right? So think about this. If you have a DSNP customer, right, you're going to see a ton of need for dentures and a want for implants. Everybody wants implants. They're not affordable for everybody. Dentures are. And so being able to offer a plan to them to help that is going to be tremendous value for you. Another thing is the ability to go out of network. Now, again, in large part, all of these have a network that's going to get them a ton of discounts and make that policy stretch a lot further. But they're not required because they have an indemnity option, which will allow the customer to go anywhere and pay that money directly to the client, and then the client will reimburse themselves. So that works like they go to the dentist and they ask for a cash rate. They pay the cash, and then they reimburse themselves with the dental plan. That may work, that may not. You'll see a large number of these plans have either have vision included or as a rider. And if you just look it through this, you can find that there. I would recommend vision as a rider so that you have the ability to offer that vision and add that vision coverage, but the client wasn't being charged for it if they don't want it, right? So think about this. If vision is included, then that premium may be a little bit more because it's included. If it's a rider, obviously the premium is going to go up because of the rider, but if they don't want it, you can back that down. So vision as a rider is typically what I would look for. And then on here, you'll see VSP Savings Pass that's included. It really doesn't affect the rate when you see this one, solely because this is like a savings plan. They're just going to get a discount when they go to a VSP provider. Now, if I'm honest, if you want some type of vision to be included with your dental policy, I'm going to go with National Care Dental, right? They're a great carrier. They're going to have a large dental face policy, face amount. It's right now, it's the largest one out there at $10,000. And it will have that VSP Savings Pass involved with it as well. Good one to look at. If you're not contracted with them, reach out to us. We'll help you go through that. Most of these carriers are going to issue down to age 18, and they'll issue policies for an individual and family, individual and children, or just family. Now, there's a ton of different ranges. Now, if you're more senior market oriented, Medico and Mutual of Omaha, those are going to be individual policies only. Now, I'm going to talk about a carrier here that's going to be, we think, a game changer, right? And that's Physicians Mutual. Physicians Mutual has what could be considered a group dental policy, right? So if somebody is on a group plan, if they're still working, they're looking to retire, or how do they come, or they have come into Medicare and they were on a group plan, a true group plan, right? Like most major companies, they're going to be used to Physicians Mutual, okay? It's fee schedule based. If you get crowns, you're going to pay X. If you need dentures, you're going to pay Y. They have different plan options. So their economy plan is going to be a lower premium amount, but you're going to pay more for the services. Their preferred plan is going to be their highest premium, and it's not crazy high because they're not just giving you money to spend as you want. They're giving you money based on services, but their money stretches in an unlimited amount. Physicians Mutual, none of their policies have a yearly policy max. Get this, they don't even have a lifetime policy max. So they will continue to pay and pay and pay. This means if you need to sell a day one, $1 coverage with major services because they're looming, they're out there, but they're not needed tomorrow, I would go with Physicians Mutual. The policy is going to continue to pay if they're at their 65-year-old age range, right? Right now, they're used to what a true group dental plan is. They're not used to indemnity plans. That's a fun word, right? They're used to a fee schedule and paying per service, and Physicians Mutual is going to meet that mark and continue to pay without a policy max. What you're going to hear a lot of people talk about, and you may be interested in this, is Delta Dental. So let's address the elephant in the room. Does National Contracting Center offer Delta Dental? The answer is no. Are we going to contract with Delta Dental? Well, as they contract right now, the answer is no, because they do not take FMO contracts. If you want to sell Delta Dental, you can do it by going online and you can sell that policy there. I would suggest that because there's just no way for us to help you service those policies. Which brings up an interesting point. Dental plans do come with a good bit of service work because not everybody understands networks and they don't understand preferred providers versus just a reimbursement plan. So there are going to be a good bit of questions behind a dental plan to keep your clients happy. The senior market knows seniors, and they know that seniors want dental plans, and that's why the carriers continue adding dental plans. As you can see on the screen, every carrier who's in the med-sup business is offering a dental plan. Medicare Advantage carriers are trying to build it into their plans, but even then, it's not the greatest of coverage. I would suggest that even somebody who has a Medicare Advantage plan with dental in it should probably pick up an extra dental plan as well. It's just going to make that business more sticky, and you can get some for pretty low prices. So let's look at the rates. Now, these rates are based on $1,000 and $2,000. Everything is guaranteed issue, so you apply for a dental plan, you get a dental plan. Your rates are locked in at the age that you purchase your dental plan. So if you get one now, you're going to have a much lower rate than what is shown on this screen. Physicians Mutual is a pretty interesting thing. Their premiums, you can see, are very low. Looks like $31.46. Now that's their lowest plan and their highest plan, but their rate cap at age 50. So if you get in at age 65, you're paying the rate of a 50-year-old. And that probably means that people who are 50 years old are probably getting a shaft right now, but is what it is, right? So, but the people who are 65 and older, they're getting a really good deal. Now with Allstate, their premiums are decent, but their plan doubles in the second year. So if you buy in at $1,000 plan, let's say $24 a month, in year 2 it goes up to a $2,000 plan, but the premium doesn't change. Now I know what you're asking. What about commissions? Well, typically dental commissions, they're going to be in that 45 to 60% range based on the carrier. And the renewals are minimum. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of dental plans do not renew. People get whatever work they want done, and then they just let their policy lapse. We here at National Contracting Center are very big about broadening your book of business and selling ancillary products with your Medicare, with your ACA. Dental plans, we've talked about cancer plans, any of the ancillary plans that we've been talking about in this series. At least we want you to offer them to your clients. So offer them as a package deal and then let your client choose which one they want and give them the option to piece it apart if they don't. Remember, if you offer someone a max policy, you offer them a Medicare Advantage with a hospital indemnity plan, maybe even add a dental plan into that, and they're like, oh, Brandon, that's way too much. Well, which one would you pull off? You ask your customer that. They may pull off the dental plan, so you still have a Medicare Advantage and a hospital indemnity plan. It's easier to pull a policy off and not offer it right then. You can come back to it than it is to, okay, here's your Medicare Advantage plan. There is a zero premium, but if we add hospital indemnity, it's going to be blah blah blah, right? That's going to take you out of the sale. You want to sell up front and then pull back. Break down the cost of what it is by letting them decide what they want to pay. And think about this. If you're moving somebody from a Medicare supplement plan to a Medicare Advantage plan, in large part, you're probably saving them $200 or more a month in premium. Use that to show them what they can do with that money. They're already spending it on their Medicare supplement. Now that you're saving them some money, you can also enhance their coverage with the money that they're saving. Well, that's going to wrap up our DVH comparison for today. We hope you've enjoyed this. And if you did, would you do us a favor? Would you like the video and subscribe to our channel? We're going to be putting out more of this content soon, and you don't want to miss it. If you'd like to talk more about how to integrate these policies into your business, please reach out to us here at National Contracting Center. We'd love to talk with you about ways that we can make your business the most successful it can be.